There are borders made of tall cement walls, relentless mountains, and wayfaring rivers that have tasted blood.
Borders made of armed men, alive, dead, forgotten.
Borders made of distorted religions.
Borders sharp as swords that have cut limbs and breasts and children.
Borders that have turned souls into lost homes, misplaced and broken. Borders that we create everywhere we go.
Like self-proclaimed universes in comfort zones.
We're drawing borders on mind and soul.
Dropping bombs on ideals we bemoan.
Aerating people who won't conform.
Until they fear even the sight of a shooting star. We create borders to separate dreams written on brick pillows from the ones written on bed sheets.
We create borders arguing over truths unmindful that truth comes from the word tree. And the last time I checked, we had more than one kind.
We create borders over and over.
Drawing so many lines that look like horizons stacked up one over the other.
So the sun is devoured sooner.
If the sun ever had a choice, it would never rise again.
In a world where we create walls every time light wants to enter.
In a world that wants the dusk to fall soon so more bombs can be dropped.
And some more dreams may be shot.
The border between India and Nepal is only a divider. Few armed soldiers and a signboard.
But in school, no blackboard could ever subdue the curiosity over her small eyes.
My name was instantly replaced by
Nepali.
That always came with an unfathomable urgency and mockery.
And to the ones who never asked,
I can see as much as everyone else.
For years, these borders have been standing in attention.
Quivering under the blazing heat of the sun, with avalanches descending like angry gods.
These borders want to drop because they cannot see how we are any different from each other.
If we drop this facade of courage,
we'll see our borders are made of fear.
Each direction you look, you'll see horizons.
It says, this is how far you can see if you stand right here at the same place. But if you move a little forward, you'll see that is beyond the end of your vision. And you'd know.
It doesn't look any different than you. For you are beyond the horizon for someone else too. So today, we will tell you a story of how we decided to move a little forward.
How poetry ventured out of middle-class homes, hidden diaries and unsent emails.
And how ever since, it has been pouring like the Mumbai monsoon.
My first poem was a goodbye poem to a friend who was no longer one.
My first poem was in school about endangered olive ridley turtles.
Clearly more significant than broken friendships. When I was a little older and my parents didn't scold me anymore about doing other things and not studying, I decided to pursue poetry a bit more seriously.
Though my mom did mention when I took a leave from job to come attend the talk that I was totally going to lose my newfound job. Anyway, I was also looking for spaces to pursue poetry. And today when people in Bombay do that, they find us. But 2 years ago, that Google search turned back nothing.
Or something that was either a closed group, or they charged you, or they were frankly too competitive for amateurs like us. Or they were doing it on weekdays as if people who wrote poetry didn't have jobs.
So Groucho Marx, as he said, I don't care to belong to any club which will have me as a member. We decided to start our own. In the existing art culture, we saw barriers that may have very valid reasons for existing, but they keep not just the bad out, but the good out too.
Barriers that exist in our cities that stop amateurs from turning into professionals. And in this process, what is lost is not just a few good poems. It is the change that we feel each time we hear a good poem, or read a good book, or see a beautiful painting.
And the poets today in India are not writing poetry for a living. Most of us are doing it as a hobby, which may be hidden forever in laptops if we don't create spaces for them to be exhibited.
And these poets teach us that every unpublished poet isn't an amateur, and frankly, every published one isn't good.
Listen to this. Your inspiration is right here, waiting to be dug out. You may sometimes misplace the anchor that tied you to it, but it will always come by again, bumping into you whenever it sees as necessary. This is Mehak Jangda, a 20-year-old management studies student who thinks and interacts primarily in English. Now, how many Indian published women who write English poetry is she likely to come across for inspiration?
India writes poetry about rape, homosexuality, war, sometimes about an old almari, sometimes about a cat. It writes sonnets, verses, ghazals, it writes in various languages. Bringing all this together in a space so that Mehak can experience this variety is our step towards connection.
Even though barriers to connection may not literally exist, social media has done nothing if not give us an audience for our art and our life. But we need honest communities where appreciation is more than a thumbs up and a critical comment is weighed for what it's worth before it is said.
उस दौर के अपने सलीके थे, इस दौर के अपने तरीके हैं. क्या सिर्फ इसलिए गलत हैं कि अलग हैं? This is written by Saurabh. Saurabh Jain is from Gaya in Bihar. He moved to Mumbai to get his MBA and writes Hindi poetry interspersed with Urdu. He is the reason why we believe that Hindi poetry deserves more audience.
But Saurabh knows that poetry has a dwindling audience. And the people who still are poetry lovers hold modern poetry to standards and rules that they are not necessarily written with. And so for him, it is essential that the stereotype of a typical poet or a poem is broken, for people to realize that there are no such things as rules in art. There are only trends.
Artists today do not need middlemen, gatekeepers of art and literature to tell us what sells. Today's world is interactive. For example, spoken word poetry. We can engage people, we can get feedback real time to know what works and what doesn't. And that can really create a space, and what we've done with the Poetry Club is that we've encouraged spoken word performances so that we create a space that engages audience, and we are moving past those gatekeepers who filter what reaches the audience.
Forever in struggle to understand. The world and the self, on the other hand, caught between society and a wavering line where what's real and unreal combine. That mind of a poet, I fear, is mine.
These lines are by a doctor and a poet, Siddharth Warrior, who believed that poetry wasn't meant to be shared. Writing was contemplation. To create a space that asks for nothing but a poem and does not judge him for his thoughts made him share poetry and made him feel that it was natural as writing it. It was the overcoming of the fear of being misjudged or misunderstood.
At the Poetry Club, we welcome anyone, everyone, as long as they have an original poem to share. And we have this rule because we realize that opinions are kinder when everyone has shared a part of themselves. So a space which does not judge you, but still gives you critical feedback about your writing and about your performance is something that poets like Siddharth need to go public with their poetry.
As we move forward in this journey of having created this mildly successful group that encourages poetry, we learn that we need more such spaces for art to be truly appreciated. Spaces that where tickets and entry fees do not decide what group of people art will be accessible to, where rules are minimal and artists can progress.
When we started out, we imagined getting 20 poets willing to share their poems would be a far shot. But the power of social media is unrivaled, and the reach of art is underestimated. Today, we talk to thousands on social media and meet hundreds in our poetry sessions.
If we agree to move a little beyond the rules that we create for ourselves, we will see that a different kind of art, for a different kind of artist with a different kind of audience is being born in India.
And we realize that they need space to grow. And if we can manage to give them that, then we can create a nation full of artists that can help us look beyond the horizon.